My mom's funny. I have, I guess, 5 siblings total, but it's 3 with my mom and step pop had. I'm the only child of my mom and dad.
Right.
And then my dad has 2 in Ohio, which is hilarious. Those 2, they look like brothers of mine. Like we all it's like all big guys.
Your dad's
tall.
nut is strong.
Strong nut.
Yeah.
Your mom I didn't grow up with them, and I don't know them very well.
Right.
You know, I love them as they're my brothers, but like I don't.
What's the age difference?
So it's funny. It's almost the same on both.
Oh wow!
Until the third, my dad's 2 sons. I'm 11 years and 15 years older.
Oh wow, that's a weird.
And then
gap.
my brother's 11 years younger than me. My one sister's 15, the other one's 19.
Wow.
Years younger
Holy
than
fuck.
me. Yeah.
19 is crazy.
Yeah.
19 years. So wait, your parents had I'm guessing your mistake is they're teenagers or how
they were
young?
19,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a mistake.
Right.
Some tells me my dad was cream pie city, dude. He was all about it.
Yeah, I guess mistake is wrong because we use that for like you don't want a kid, but you do the thing to get a kid. You know what I mean? It's like when you're fucking cream pie, and it's like, what do you think's gonna happen?
I would ask my dad, but he's got so many farcical stories.
Yeah.
I really, when I was young, he was so not around, like my teenage years particularly, that like it took me to being an adult to be like, oh, these stories probably aren't true.
Right.
He would just throw them out there. It's like, you know, I beat Minnesota Fats in pool once. Who's Minnesota Fats? Then you look it up and you're like, no way.
Well, that's awesome, Dad. Just a lie somebody else told him. He's like, this is good. My son hasn't heard this. I'm not in his life.
Oh, what was something?
We don't have any mutual friends.
He got kicked out of the Navy because he got caught smoking weed with David Bowie on a stoop somewhere.
He told you that with a straight face.
Those are such obvious lies now that it makes me the ones that are possible, because he was like in the Navy and maybe he was like at sea, and he said but so even a basic one where he was like, I saw the Pink Floyd do The Wall in Rome at the Coliseum, and I'm like, probably you didn't.
Yeah. Like, something that is a possibility.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? That's probably bullshit.
Yeah, you might have actually been in Rome and just decided not to go, but you're like, this will be good to say.
David Bowie just walked by and said, hey, can I hit that?
Hey,
like,
dude.
Did he pop?
Yeah.
Did he know?
You trying to spork up?
But my dad was like, he split when I was like 3.
Okay.
And my stepfather
a classic Philly dirtbag move.
Yeah. He said, I'll be right back, and went to Florida. No, he was. Him and my mom had a fight.
Okay.
I don't think it was like a punching fight at all.
Sure. Awesome that you have to say that. You know what I mean?
Well, I remember coming downstairs, and he definitely had like hands on the arms.
Yeah.
Like yelling against the wall. But my dad's actually not a very violent guy, so it wasn't like that. It was just whatever he got caught cheating is what it was.
Right.
And it's nice to find out that when you're older too. You're the one who comes over and goes, Donna rules, Mom.
Yeah.
He's like, who? I'm like, Donna, the girl who gave me this awesome ball.
Yeah, you know, the lady who gets me ice cream every Tuesday while her and Dad hang out in the car.
He goes, you know, to get me ice cream? Oh, that was great. When my mom was dating, that was great when guys figured that shit out. He goes,
you see a little fat
bring his kid to a little McDonald's, dude, and fucking push him right into the room. Hey, now get in your room. They would always, I would always be like, I have no TV in my room. And they'd be like, you should get him a TV in his room.
Yeah,
if you're going to be 22 and single.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a 22-year-old single mom, you better get a fucking TV in his room.
Yeah, dude. Get him something.
But my mom, my step-up came when I was like 10.
Okay.
And that was almost like a shock. I actually went and like pretty quickly after that, like went to my dad. I was like, I'm gonna go live with Dad.
Oh, really?
And my mom,
because you just didn't like having a male authority figure, or what?
It just wasn't my dad. Right. Like he was great. Like it was awesome in the case because he was an awesome dude.
Yeah.
And then once he had to start being like, no, you can't do that. You're not allowed to go there. So I was like, what? Oh,
that's interesting because you don't think about the fact that you're also like, the child gets a honeymoon phase with the guy that his mom is dating.
Of course.
So when
and then it's funny, they're still together. Like my step-pop's great.
That's awesome.
I love my step-pop. He's awesome. You know, again, they were always young. Like my step-pop was 27 when he came around.
Dude, that's so wild to think about that. Like that's been happening to me where I'm like, because my parents, it took them a while to have kids because they, like I said, it was in vitro, and so I'm 34, and I think I'm the age my dad was when they had me, because they tried to have kids when they were in their 20s, but whatever. And I catch myself in the mirror, and I was always like, I don't look like my dad, whatever. But now I'm the age that, like, in my childhood, my dad was. So I look in the mirror, I'm like, no, like, that's that face. I make that face. You're just like, holy fuck.
Oh, I have a lot of my dad's, like, mannerisms, face.
Yeah, and when you think about that, where you're like, this is the age they were. I'm like I'm podcasting. He's like, beating off in a cup, praying the eggs take this time so he can finally be a father. He's been trying for years.
We're also in this world, though, it just is a change of a thing. You know what I mean?
For sure.
My dad isn't like a go to the office, like uptight, like guy like that. He's been a pothead.
Yeah. He
not
seems,
anymore, but like
if I had to guess, pretty laid back.
Yeah.
If his lifestyle is anything like his parenting style, he's pretty laissez-faire. Yeah.
Well, he left my mom, or they broke up. He went to Florida for a little bit and then moved back to like South Jersey or Delaware or something. He moved around a bit with her. Yeah. But my stepmother, who was significantly older than him.
Oh, wow.
They didn't really dawn on me at the time.
Right, of course.
And she had kids.
Everyone's an adult in your head.
She had kids who I remember he would discipline, and it would be very weird. He'd be like, get the spoon. And they go upstairs, and I'm like, I hear him zipping him in the ass with a spoon. I'm like, you're not their dad, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, you empathize with them because you're from a broken home, too.
Never put his hands on me once. I wasn't around enough.
Oh, maybe it was good. Yeah, that's true. A lot of times the guys who abandon their families, it's like, you don't want that guy as your dad. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't have been that awesome having around probably at those times anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I always thought it was funny. My dad was he really would give that speech of like, oh, weed's from the earth. So
right.
But I don't know if it's good or bad, because it might have been fun to smoke pot in high school.
Yeah.
But I think just because I equated that with just like, ugh.
Right.
That I never smoked pot until I was in my 20s.
Wow, yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is awesome. He was right.
Yeah.
It's just from the earth. Like I say, what? It's just from the earth.
Yeah.
But you say that thing earlier about like your mom's favorite, like those years between my step-pop and mom, my grandfather passed away also. He was like, he took over a lot of the dad stuff, throw me to throw a ball, and came to my baseball games and everything. But in my downtime was a lot of times was my grandmother and my mom.
Right.
And we're both great.
Right.
But you don't realize when you're getting like womaned up when you're younger.
Yes, of course.
And it's just so funny the things that I know versus don't. Like I have such limited man skills. You know what I mean? If they were like, well, I remember the limited times I'd be with my dad. He's like, I got to run by AutoZone or whatever. And
yeah.
Goes, I'm going to get these new spark plugs put in the car.
Right,
and you're like,
right.
And then you have to take it somewhere. And he's like, no, I'm just going to change the spark plugs.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Which played out funny later. I remember it was Dave Smith was with me. He came to see me perform opening for Attell in Pittsburgh years ago. And he goes, you want to come see the new car? And I'm like, sure. And we went down. And he's like, oh, it's like twin camshaft, super blah, 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 Hemi. But I'm like, I go, you left, dude. I have no idea what you're talking about.
If you want to talk about Dave's Days of Our Lives,
but that's what I was going to say was absolutely funny when I saw my mom's soap operas with her.
Dude, me too.
So much so that I always still think of Kelly Ripa as Haley from with the crimped hair from the thing. Falcon Crest. Dallas.
Yeah.
I knew all the heartthrobs were on those shows. Of
course.
And it was just, but that was like TV. We only had 6 channels too. I just lay on my belly on the floor. My mom would be on the couch. I think my mom was like a size 1. She still wore like 0 jeans, so she had her pants unbuttoned. Phone cord strung across the whole room to her phone so she could be next to her on the thing. It's just ripping menthols. and talking on the phone to friends like a child would.
Well, you were basically in a sorority house, because it's like she's 20 or 21 or whatever.
That's a funny thing to watch too. Is her? She also went back to college when she was like 27.
Oh, hilarious!
So then she started having, and she always worked in retail.
Yeah,
and she'd be like the manager of like a retail place. But her friends were all like super hot. Like to me, when I was a little kid, like just smoking hot, beautiful young girls, and they were. And now what's funny now is like, that's the thing about Facebook.
Yeah.
Like someone's like,
look them up.
oh my, not even there, they'll hit you up and goes, your mom told me you were going to be, I want to come see a show. And you're like, hello. And you look on the thing and it's like, I had to have my boob removed from cancer. I'm thrice divorced.
Yeah. No, but in your head, she's this perfect angel.
They were. They were so hot.
Oh, how much beating off you must have done to your mom's like friends who also worked the Sears register. It's off the charts.
Now, my mom was also brilliant. When she saw that it was going to be a husky child, she became the manager of Casual Mail, which became
Casual Mail XL. Wow.
It was casual. Well, it was called Casual Mail Big and Tall, and then became DXL.
DXL. Wow, dude.
But she worked there so
that's incredible. Positioned herself for her family. Got there. Exactly. Was in the right industry. She's like, I see exactly how many dino nuggets this fucking guy takes down every week. Absolutely. We got to get to the DXL. Oh.
It is funny. That's the thing. You think like fat equates like wealth.
Right.
Like you'd believe that's the case, but it's not. It's just because we had spaghetti and butter and Parmesan cheese 4 nights a week when I was home. And then also my dad left, so when I'd be with the grandparents.
Oh, yeah. It's grandparents love to spoil.
Guess Dad's not coming to pick me up this weekend again. Can I have an entire small pizza myself? Like, of course you can.
Of course you can, little Jason. That's so fucking funny.
Absolutely. You can have that. And then my dad would try to crash course it when I'd see him. He'd be back and goes, you don't tell you had a boxer? Or not box, maybe like fight or something. I'm like, no, but I've been in like plenty. I go, but no one's with that. I remember taking me out back and like putting the hands up and then just drilling me hard in the chest. And then I just got emotional and it's like, you left me with mom.
Yeah.
Like, are you just hitting me?
That's awesome. The idea that he would try and get like 3 years of fatherhood in 2 weeks. It's like, all right, we're boxing. I'm showing you how to wash your penis. We're doing the birds and the bees.
But me and Dan would always talk about this too. The poor single moms, dude, because those guys crash course it in like a weekend or you stay there for like, a couple weeks in the summer or something.
Yeah.
You would crash course and you come home and it's like, this guy got me Nintendo.
Right.
Meanwhile, all things just kind of like shut you up and
of course.
So you don't really interfere with his life.
He's trying to put his thumbs in your mother's ass, and he was like, "All right, Double Dragon probably buys me anal if I can get him Double Dragon and fucking Mario 2."
Dad always does he always came through like the big with the big hits, and then you're like, Dad rules.
Yeah.
And then she was like, when I was like, well, I'm gonna move with him. She was like, yeah, go ahead. And then I went there and I'm like, Dad doesn't rule at all.
Sucks.
Dad doesn't know me that well.